Hello and welcome. Today's video is going to give you the most lucrative side hustles without any personal investments. None of that BS affiliate marketing and online ebooks and all that stuff. We believe in hardcore work, back to basics, things that you can physically do and produce money every single weekend, up to $2,000 or more. And no, I'm not just talking about it. I've actually been there, done that numerous times. But before I go there, folks, let me ask you a question. How come these YouTubers are teaching you how to make money and you go to their channels and listen to what they have to say? How come they don't have any money? How come they don't have any assets? How come they don't drive a nice car or multiple cars? How come they don't have properties and assets and investment, something tangible that they can show you, except they show you their phone with a bunch of numbers on it of stocks that they don't even belong? Well, there's a secret, folks, and the secret is that they don't have any money. In this video, I'm gonna give you a secret hustle at the end of the video, and I promise you it's a secret. It's gonna fill your pockets and your soul, and it's gonna make you so rich you have no idea. So let's begin. Hello and welcome, folks. So today we have a new host with us. Her name is Natalie. Natalie is an actress. She's a model. She also teaches yoga and many other things. Natalie, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So this video, as you know, is about side hustles, and we're going to share some special things with you guys. Not only just how to do a side hustle, but also how to charge for a side hustle, right? How to make sure you give good customer service, because it's really about customer service. And I come from a consulting background, and they teach us not only how to sell, but also how to keep the customer long term. So the first one we thought about, which anybody and everybody can do, is painting. Now you might ask, what about painting? Painting can't possibly make me any money. But I will tell you, as a real estate entrepreneur, for the past 10 years, I've yet to find a single good painter that can paint the house. So I'm talking about painting the house and painting the interior and the exterior. And this gets very expensive because, for example, one of my cousins, he just got his house painted, 3 rooms for over $2,000. Yeah. But if you do a couple of houses a month, you're looking at some serious profit. But again, the key is to provide good customer service. When you provide the service to customer, ask them, how did you do? Get some feedback. People love that kind of stuff. And they will tell you, and they'll appreciate, they'll call you again the next time. Think about, when was the last time somebody asked you, how did I do in this job?
Yeah, not often.
Nobody, yeah. So now how do you find these gigs? They're everywhere, folks. You can join Facebook groups, social media groups, Instagram groups. There are investor groups out there. There's investors, brokers, realtors, flippers, you name it. They all need painters. And housing market right now is super, super hot. So you can't go wrong with this. In terms of pricing, I would advise that price yourself between medium, somewhere between high and medium. The reason why is that you want to show them that you can provide something extra. Good service, better clientele, and all that. Also target high-end areas. Take a flyer, post the flyer into high-end areas where you think people have money, where you think people can spend a little bit more than average Joe on house painting.
And then they can ask for referrals too. If they do good jobs, say, hey, do you know anybody else that needs a painter?
Yeah, that's a great point, Natalie. So when you start, folks, keep in mind, you will not succeed the first time. You have to try again and again and again. And even if you fail, congratulations, because you're the top 5% who at least tried. Most people don't even try these things. Once you make $1 or $2 or make $500 or a few $1,000s a weekend, as we talked about, then you can scale it. And I'll tell you how to scale it. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and hire some people. Early morning, if you go there, there are people looking for jobs. You can go there and ask them, look, I'll pay you a couple $100 a day. Come with me, let's paint this house together. So you make $2,000, you pay someone else $200, and you can go find more clients like that. And this is how you scale a business. So don't take this lightly. This could be a really revenue generator. So the next one that we selected, folks, is doggy care. Now, not just any doggy care, not just walking the dog. Walking the dog has no money in it, so don't do that, okay? What gives you the maximum return is having the doggies or the dogs over for overnight, taking care of them overnight for multiple days. I can tell you a personal story, and Natalie will share her stories with you, that I had to put Gooby in a house for a couple of days on a Thanksgiving. I paid $100 a night, and this lady has 5 dogs, 5 additional dogs that she was taking care of that one night. So you can do the math, it's almost $500 a night just for having the dog sleep over. And I think that in the doggy care market space is the most lucrative side hustles that you can enjoy without even leaving your house, especially during time of COVID. Now here's the trick. You have to register with sites like wag.com, rover.com, pawway.com. There are many different apps. You can just talk to them. But once you build your clientele, you can then start to charge them directly and have more people. And like Natalie said, have referrals and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I've had 2 dogs, and for me it was very expensive, but 2 dogs finding pet care, especially overnight ones, it adds up. But in college, I actually was pet sitting, and for neighbors, I would spend the night. It was great. Yeah. I love dogs and animals, so it was an easy job, and I loved it. So now that you mention it, I have a friend who lives in Italy, and she has decided to quit her job, and she runs a pet hotel in Italy and her property,
goodness.
and she makes so much money doing it. Yeah, so
I'm glad you mentioned that.
So you can do it anywhere.
This is a real hustler, folks, I'm telling you. Okay, so the next one we thought about was teaching or translation. Now you might ask, well, I can't teach, I'm not a teacher. Well, we're talking more specifically about teaching English or translating in a language that you might know, because Natalie here is bilingual and so am I. So, for example, I have there are Asian students who sometimes, ask in college, who can teach me English? And there's a website called 10kva.com. 10kva.com allows you to be a teacher online to teach foreign students how to speak English. Now you might think, I'm not a teacher, I don't have skills. They don't require you to be a teacher, they don't require credentials. They just want you to be able to at least compose a sentence together or teach them how to communicate so they can understand the different accents that transpire in the US.
I think it's great because you can help somebody practice conversational English. English is one of the main languages in the world, but if you have other language skills, you can learn. I speak Spanish, so I'm going to look into teaching Spanish or tutoring kids with their Spanish classes. And so I heard that another language that is quite popular is Mandarin, Chinese Mandarin.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, you're right. So if you speak Chinese, if you speak Mandarin, if you speak Spanish, obviously English, you're in hot demand, folks. And again, I will give you guys this tip, right? Don't negotiate the prices. Okay, once you set a rate, that a market rate slightly higher than median, provide good service, ask for feedback, but don't negotiate prices too much. There are some pitfalls of negotiating, because if you negotiate too much, the customer thinks that you don't know what you're talking about or you're not confident in your skills, and you don't want that impression, because if you keep flip-flopping on prices, then people will just walk away and find someone else. So be firm in your prices and stick with it. The clients will come. Again, it takes time. Okay, so the next one I thought about, folks, and I'm biased because I do real estate investing, is plumbing. Now you might ask, AK, this is really hard. How am I supposed to do plumbing? I'm not a handy person, folks. I wasn't a handy person myself, okay? But based on need, they say invention is the mother of needs, right? Or need is the mother of invention. So, what happened is, in one of my properties I did here in Reston, I had a plumber who quit on me 2 weeks before my tenant was supposed to move. So I started making calls, posting, Craigslist, postings and all that. Nobody showed up because plumbing is such a hot skill and high demand, folks. So I called my friend who's a master plumber who didn't have time to work on my project because I had a deadline. And he said, AK, just watch some YouTube videos or, download a book or whatever and just learn and practice in your house. After watching some YouTube videos, folks, you're not gonna believe this. I was able to fix 2 bathrooms, toilets, and a sink. And I got so ambitious that I also installed a washer and dryer. And that washer, dryer, sink, everything is working 3 years later in the same house. Plumbing is super easy if you turn the water off. I would recommend you guys try it. And if you watch these YouTube videos step by step, they actually show you down to the penny how to fix a toilet, how to fix a sink. And all you need is a wrench. You don't need any tools to buy yourself. Once you get the job, once somebody hires you, you can give them a separate invoice for labor and materials, a separate estimate. But once you do that and they give you the deposit, then you can go and buy that wrench. And that's how plumbing is done. You never have to have money to start some of these side hustles. Now again, you can also scale this business. Once you become a plumber, plumbing, and you go there every weekend, make a few $1,000s, you can then teach someone else. Find someone, at a Home Depot or Lowe's and teach them the same skill, just the basic stuff. And you'd be surprised, the calls will keep coming. You won't be able to keep up. There's such a high demand of plumbing. The plumber who I asked to help me at the last minute was gonna charge me $2,500 for 4 hours worth of work to fix 2 toilets and 1 sink. So you can do the math, how much they charge and how extensive demand is for these skills.
Yeah, it is very high in demand. In fact, last night, one of my dad's friends said, "Can you please come over? My sink is clogged." And he's not a plumber, but he basically picked up those skills along his lifetime, and now he's able to help other people out. So,
and the other thing I want to mention, Natalie, is that if you want to make more money, the best way, the easiest way is to improve your skills. The more skills you have, like Natalie mentioned, you might speak Mandarin, you might speak something else. You all have those skills, folks. If you're watching this channel, you have some desire to practice those skills. So please use those skills to then monetize on that. You have to learn how to market yourself. And for marketing, social media is an excellent platform. Use your Facebook page, use your Instagram page, your TikTok page, whatever, LinkedIn. Put that skill in there. Tell them, in my spare time, I like to do painting, and I can come and help you. I mean, people will hit you up. By the way, if you like the comment, if you see value in it, if you hear some of the ideas that Natalie and I are bouncing off here, please click the subscribe and like button. Please hit that notification bell. So the next one I have is more focused on the females, because I've been biased and talking about all these male-oriented professions like plumbing and this and that. But I want to ask Natalie, are there any professions that you think are more specific to females?
well, one thing I did when I was growing up, I babysat. So childcare is so expensive nowadays that a lot of people are looking for outside help to, whether it's a couple hours, a whole day, but babysitting, nannying, childcare is in high demand. And I think the nurturing aspects that women have make a lot more people feel safe. There are male nannies, and so we're not trying to be biased or anything, but generally speaking, that's when I grew up, they always called me to babysit.
Human beings are meant to do bigger, better things. So hustling, trying different things, think of it as an experimentation. It's not just making money, but also learning something new, improving your skills, and so on and so forth. Now, lastly, I promise you guys, I'm going to mention something very important that's going to fill your soul and your pockets as well. I'm a big fan of karma. I'm a big fan of helping people, is to volunteer your time somewhere. Everything is not about money, folks. There's bigger, better things than money in life. I have volunteered at Habitat of Humanity numerous times, and also at the food bank. And I encourage you, and as I tell you guys this, I'm also thinking maybe I haven't done this in a while and I should do it.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because so much has changed in our world with the pandemic, and it's not just about us and making money. What is our purpose? Not just to make money, but to be of service. And for example, I'm a yoga teacher, and I would teach at a homeless shelter in Los Angeles, and there's a huge homeless population. And by helping them, it just fills your soul. And so,
much respect to Natalie for saying that. I did not know all these kind things she's mentioning here. I know making money is great, and I hope you guys make a lot of money and have a lot of wealth and health and so on and so forth. But as you mentioned, because of COVID, we realize how valuable life and people are in your life. And lastly, thank you guys for watching this, and let me know if any of these tips you're willing to try, which ones resonate more with you, whether it's painting or plumbing or car detailing or nanny. Let us know and share your experiences. And I want to lastly thank you, Natalie, again for coming on the show. Hopefully this is not the last time. Hopefully we can see you again.
I would love to be back. Thanks for having me on your show, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much.
I know you're sharing all your wisdom and knowledge and tips with the whole world, so I'm very proud of you, and thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. Well, we'll see you next time. Love you all. Bye.
Bye, everyone.